Hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome a very sparkly special guest, Sherry. Sherry H. from Voices from the Swamp. Hey,
Hello,
Sherry.
hello. It's not dying of heat down here today. Still up, but not as bad.
What a
Okay,
lovely hat, a
I'm going to take it
sparkly
off
hat.
now because it's starting to give me a headache. And
I say.
it's actually from I think it's a child's hat. It's kind of small. I
It's
just got a fat head, that's all. But a fat head to go with my fat behind. So, I even myself out.
oh, cut it out, Sherry, and show everybody your pins.
Oh, yes, I've got, which side is it on? Here we go. The little gold one here, it was my mom's that she used to wear for like Flag Day or 4th of July. This one's gold. And then this is a silver one that I got. I don't even remember where I got it from. And then the one on top, this is actually part of my son's official naval uniform. It's his Navy flag. And it's
Oh,
the U.S. flag, the Navy flag, and
yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, and it just says Navy under it. So that was on his uniform all the time. And then when he got out, I stole it. I
Well,
said it's mine now.
Sherry is
So
schooling us all on how to be patriotic. Show everybody
there
your
we go.
fingernails.
Oh yeah, I did that this morning. See, I get the flags on my thumbs, and then I painstakingly did and redid the stripes two
Very
or three times
creative.
before I got it straight. I have a hard time painting a straight line,
Very creative,
but
Sherry. They are just beautiful. And the energy and the dedication is what I wanted to share with everybody today, that Sherry is such an amazing part of our community. She is relentless and endless with her support of everybody and just so kind-hearted. And you have you make it look so easy, Sherry. You certainly do.
no, I don't know how. There are days when I feel like I'm just running in circles. It's like I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
But
So we have Scorpio Mama here. Hey, Scorpio Mama. And
hi
we have
there,
Viviani here. Hi, Viviani, saying happy 4th to everybody. And NJS 55. Hello, NJS
hi
55. Thanks
there.
for joining us.
I
And we
see
have
Hilda and
Sonia is
Sonia.
with us. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on
Hi
this 4th of
Jenny,
July holiday. Arlene is here, and
Miranda,
Hilda is
Viviani.
here. She's cute. Hi, Sherry, Jean, and Sweet Peeps. I like
I
that.
love it. Well, where are the little chickadees on there? If you said sweet peeps, you got to put the chickens up.
There you go. Jenny is here. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you, Warrior Girl. Oh, thank you, everybody, for joining us on this very special 4th of
Absolutely.
July. And I have Miranda here. Hi, Miranda.
Hi
Thanks for
Miranda.
joining us. Nice to see you.
One.
And David is here. Hi, David.
Hi David.
Thanks for being here. So nice to see you. Oh, Andrea
Mandy.
Andrea 54 Hector. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you. Everybody's saying happy 4th, happy 4th, my spiritual sisters and family. How sweet.
That's great. I love Sue Toffee's here.
Sue Toppy. Hi, Sue. How are you? So nice to see you here. Let's
It
see.
looks like her kitty cat baby there. And
Jack,
Jackie. Hi, Jackie.
Jackie Jacaranda. She has it all together, all in one, all in one. She's amazing on that keyboard. I tell you.
I'm telling you, it's like Sharon Sight, man. She just, goes to town.
And we know how difficult it is. We are
Oh, yeah,
there
because
on
we're
the other.
moderators too. I mean, I go on other people's channels just in the chat, and I'm usually a mod. So because a lot of times at work, I listen. I'm in and out of the office, but I'll have it on, or usually I'll have my earbuds in, but sometimes I'm walking around with one bud in and one out because I have to hear what's going on, and so it's sometimes I can catch a troll if they pop in if I just happen to be sitting at the keyboard at that moment and I can jump on it, but I try to listen to everybody at least a little bit. I may only catch 15 or 20 minutes of their show and then I'm back out the door again. So it's definitely not a sedate job. That's
No, and you do moderate for some of the best here, in the community, and
oh
it's just
yeah.
it's so amazing. So,
Lisa was the first one to make me a moderator.
who was
Spirit
Lisa?
Intuitive.
Lisa?
Lisa. Yeah.
Mhm. You know what? She makes all of her guest moderators.
Everybody. Back in the day when she and Sharon had nasty women. And that was the first time I ever spoke up in chat and said hello to anybody. Hi, Marina.
Hi,
Um,
Marina.
and uh, uh, and it was no looking back after that point. I think it was like 2 weeks later, I was in there and I was like, how come I'm blue? And Lisa's like, oh, yeah, you're a moderator now. I'm like, what does that mean? And she was like, ask Ron or ask Sharon. They'll tell you what to do.
Yeah,
So,
Ron was, one of the first ones that sort of like raised the bar and led us in the way to do it and said hello to everybody and greetings and thank yous and really just supported all of us
yeah,
content
I
providers.
love to do that, especially if I'm at my keyboard
Yeah,
on my desktop. Then I can sit and I can type out to everybody, hello and hello, hello. And I can do it so that their name lights up, they see it. Um, if I'm on my phone or my tablet, then it's a general, hey, everyone, I'm not chatting today because by the time I get a sentence, pecked out with my thumbs, there are three topics over. So,
me too.
it's,
Me too. If you see me as Sun Psychic Jean, you know I'm on my PC, but if you see me as Sun Psychic Jean too, that means I'm on my phone. So
ah, there you go. I usually will tell people I'm on the phone today or I'm on my tablet.
yeah.
So I'm not gonna be saying hello to everybody, just a general hey.
Yeah, and some people
And
say on the TV too, they can't see the chat if you watch it on your TV or something.
that's it. And when I first got my tablet, because I have an Android tablet, it's an Amazon Fire.
Mhm.
And when I first got it and I downloaded the YouTube app and I got on to watch and I couldn't chat. And I was like, well, that defeats the whole point of why I bought the damn tablet was so I could be able to chat and go sit outside or something. And my son had to go in and discover it's certain software you have to have downloaded in order to have the right YouTube app open up so that you have access to the chat. You can do uh your 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 YouTube studio and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah,
but if he
and
hadn't known how to do that, I'd have set the tablet back and said, okay, it doesn't do what I want it to do. You can have it back. I
yeah,
don't want it.
some devices allow you to do certain action steps in the YouTube community, and
Yeah.
some, other devices do not. Hi, Erin,
Exactly.
nice to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Aaron.
So I wanted to point out a couple of things. Sherry is just an inspiration and such a humble,
Don't make
well,
me
she
blush.
she accepts all. She accepts and loves all of us, and really just shares all of herself right across the board with all of the content providers. It
I have to
doesn't
thank my
matter.
mom for that. So
Am I
my
describing
mother,
your mom?
oh yeah, my mom was very much a fish out of water for a woman in the 60s, raising two kids by herself, and very liberated, very involved in equal rights, civil rights, women's rights, all that. I mean, so I grew up marching with her when I was
Wow.
little, and so she was always, we all put our pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. That doesn't make you any more special than anyone. So don't let anyone treat you like you're beneath them. And that was her motto in life, was that and you must eat ice cream every day.
Well, it shows you that she taught you well and that you've picked up a lot of her qualities. It's effortless and it's such a humble, non-judgment, very sincere and really inclusive. The way that you have these parties and the way that you invite everybody to come on your
Yeah.
channel and just to celebrate, and you don't want anything in return. You don't even worry about if they get back to you or not. If you can, you can. If you can't, that's maybe next
Yeah.
time. Like you're just really chill, really easygoing, really laid back, and you have a lot of different people. integrating with you at your day job as well that allows you to practice this. But it's
Yeah.
such a beautiful quality, Sherry, and
I
I
just
really
enjoy being with people. I enjoy getting to know new people. I enjoy meeting people from different cultures. I mean, even if they're just from another state, sometimes that can be a whole entire culture altogether, you know. I mean, I grew up in the deep south. I was born and raised down here. Been here all of my life with the exception of a 10-year period when I went west. And uh, I don't know, I guess in a lot of ways it's the way people are down here. You know, somebody walks by or
oh,
drives by, you, hey, and you don't know who they are. They don't know who you are, but they'll honk and wave back, you know. When I first moved to Phoenix, the first time I did that, people looked at me like I was nuts. I mean, they were like, who are you waving at?
wow. So I
It's
want
like,
to
I don't
know that
know. They just,
Kelly doesn't cats for me. Thanks for being
Kelly?
here. Nice to see you. Happy 4th. I think Arlene Forney came in
Yeah.
and
Hi, Arlene.
J Cat Lady. Woo, love that name.
Hi
J Cat
there.
Lady. That's a cute name. So nice. Thank you, everybody,
Yeah.
for joining us. As you're coming in, I'll try and catch you. Um, and so the first time that Sherry became in my awareness, I've seen her in the chat, but when she really became like a name to watch and a name to look to is when Jen's
I
World
find that
Tarot.
hard to believe. I just, I have a hard time thinking people think of me that
Do you
way.
remember when Jen's World Tarot and Susan Lynn had their event in, was it
In
New
New Orleans.
Orleans?
Yeah.
And they stopped by your house
Yeah.
for lunch.
Yeah. On their way back to Houston, they go right through my city. And so I was like, well, y'all got to stop so we can meet. So we stopped and met at Chili's and had lunch. And it was awesome. I mean, and they are two of the nicest people. Jen is the best hugger. I mean, when she gives a hug, she gives a hug. It's like an all body, full out bear hug, you know. And Susan's not too slack herself with hugs.
But
Uh,
everybody says, "Oh, stop by my house, stop by." But they actually drove to you and had lunch with you, and
yeah,
it's not by accident. It's the kindness, it's the generosity, it's the consistency in the chat. It's the welcoming nature. That's your energy that you have, Sherry. Just so
oh,
you
thank
know,
you.
this is what we see about you, and you're quite diverse as well. I know that you. Really like the Dr. Gale show as well. You're yes.
I watch her. Like I watch probably just about everybody, but like I said, it's usually 15, 20 minutes at a time because I just don't have. There's just too many people now. There's,
Hmm.
and I like this to catch new people starting up that maybe only have 50 or 100 subscribers. And then I can invite them on and just kind of introduce them to everyone and then say, okay, go and let them watch them take off and pass me up by miles, you know. And
So
um,
Pegasus said
yeah,
that they
Peg came
drove.
and had lunch with me. Yeah, she and her nephew. She's got family here in Louisiana, and they had come down uh, to see family. She had come down, and we started chatting. And I said, "Well, if you're close, you got to come say hello." So we went. I took her to one of the more famous Cajun restaurants down here, and then we went over to campus because we have our very own swamp on campus that they built, and with alligators and all. And so I took her to the swamp so she could see the swamp, and we took a bunch of pictures and all kinds of stuff. So um, I've shared a few of them. I need to put
I
them up.
saw those alligators that you were posting. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're also a friend of mine on Facebook, and I have to say, what sealed the deal for me, Sherry, what like I knew this about you and I loved you and I appreciated you, but what really sealed the deal for me, Sherry, is when Dr. Gale had a very special guest on that just like lit me up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to connect with this person. this, I'm so enthralled with it, with this, with this person's knowledge and what this person has to say. And it says, you know, you can contact me on my website or you can contact me on Facebook. So under Dr. Gale's show that she had this guest on, I looked down and I saw the Facebook one, and I wanted to follow her on both because sometimes I'm on
Yeah.
either one. So I went down to her Facebook, and I went onto her Facebook, and I went to click to be her friend. Don't you know, Sherry H, Voices from the Swamp, was her friend first. It was Dolly Saffron, the ET experiencer.
Oh
I
yeah.
said, I have got to ask Sherry, because it was like, it was so dynamic. It was so, it rang it, the resonance in what Dolly
Yeah.
says, and her story. Now, the gentleman who wrote the book, do you remember his first name? And I just wrote down Dolly's name, but
I don't
um,
remember his name. I'm horrible with names. Don't ask me names.
sorry,
I'm really bad with it.
but
And that's
she
why I
was,
call everybody honey and darling and boo and sweetie and
yeah.
at work because I can't remember everybody's names. They're used to it now. At first, people would look at me kind of weird, but like especially some of the foreign students, she's calling me sweetie. Like they didn't quite know what to make out of it. And just to have some of the faculty be like, no, she calls everybody that. Don't worry about it. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. It's just because I don't remember names. I don't know why.
So you and I definitely have a lot in common, and
Me as well.
I do also. You're such a huge supporter of my channel when I was getting started and just starting out, and you would give me the opportunity to read for your loved ones, and it really, you know, touched my heart, and there were some really strong connections. And
Yeah,
I always remember there's something about those really strong connections that you'll never forget. It's such a
yeah,
soul connection. It's not a mental, it's a soul, it's a feeling,
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
heart.
You feel it right here. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And I was just enthralled and just so pleased that you are, you know, I had the opportunity to invite you onto my channel. We both work full time. I didn't realize that we both were, and
yeah,
it's hard to schedule these things. And I know that you're a busy lady. I have my regular shows. So I'm
yeah,
glad we could get together today and join forces, so to speak.
yeah. Me too. I've been excited. I've been looking forward to this for the last week and a half, 2 weeks since you asked me. It's like I had it highlighted on my calendar. Yeah, I'm gonna be on Gene's channel. So, because I
You
love to watch you read, it just blows my mind how effortlessly it seems to come from you. When that flap opens, honey, you can see it coming out. It's like, okay, I got to really figure out how to open that damn flap.
Well, that's you're in this, you have a step in the right direction because you can resonate with the vibration that comes through as I'm bringing through that
Yeah,
really impactful or you know, just really strong messages coming through. You can feel that on your end, and a lot of the chat can feel that, and that's your psychic ability kicking in and
yeah,
turning on, and the vibration raising and moving into that altered state of consciousness. One of my teachers, Suzanne Giesman, she says it's called the shift. You just shift into that other state of consciousness, which is
yeah.
letting your ego or your analytical mind rest a little bit.
That's easy for me. They want to sleep most of the time anyway, so I'm just like, yeah, y'all go snooze. We'll take it from here. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's all the women in my family have the gift, as they called it.
Oh,
Um, Nobody had the same ability. I mean, everybody was a little different. No one discussed it. No one talked about it. No one explained anything. It's just like when I was 3 and 4, I would hear this audible male voice talk to me.
oh,
Sounded like Darth Vader's voice. I mean, is the closest thing I can think of, that deep bass voice. And I can remember family coming in the room saying, "Who are you talking to?" And I'd be like, "I'm talking to God." And they'd be like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. No, no, okay, something's wrong with her or anything like that. They had no problem with it. And then when I was 9, we went to visit family in Florida. Now, I grew up in Texas
mm-hmm.
and when I was little. And we went to Florida. I'd never been there, never been to this person's house. And when we walked in the door in the middle of the night, we walked in the front door and I went, "Oh, I've been here before." And everybody's like, "No, you've not ever been here before." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, this room is here and this room is here, and so this you have this furniture here and that room is in that color." And it's like I described the whole house, and everybody was just looking at me dumbfounded. And my mom just went, "Oh, you have the gift," and
Oh,
then that's all
wow.
she ever said. She never said another word about it. And when I was about 11 or 12, I discovered I could lay in bed and float on the ceiling and watch myself sleep
Oh,
in the hotel.
wow.
I
See?
never left the room because I was terrified if I left the room, I'd get lost and I wouldn't be able to find my body again. And then what would happen? So,
You don't
I
wanna
mean,
be late coming back.
and it's like, I didn't know who to ask for, how do you even voice that question when you're 11 and 12? You
Right,
know,
right.
like, what do you do if you leave the room and you float out of your body?
That's
The
okay.
guys are back. Hang on a second.
Yeah, that's alright. They'll calm down in a minute. Well,
The little one is like his switch gets flipped on and he won't shut up. He just keeps going like a broken record. Um, but I mean, over the years, I would have things happen. We lived in a haunted house at one time. I actually watched a spirit attack my mom and throw her across the room.
oh my
And
gosh.
there was nothing there. It was like, you know, I mean, I was like a 9 or 10, I think, when that happened. And so yeah, it was just weird things. I would just know things over the years, and but I was
Yeah.
kind of embarrassed about it and thought something's wrong with me. So I would just shove it back in the closet and stay put. And then when I was living in Phoenix, I uh, I there was a low. I lived right half a mile from one of the local reservations, and they had I used to go get cigarettes there because it was cheaper to buy them on the reservation than it was to buy them in town.
Right.
And so I got to be friends with the guys that ran that little store. And I went in one time and they were giving out new calendars. And all the artwork in the calendars were from the local artist of their reservation.
Mm.
And so as I bring the calendar home and my mom and I are flipping through it and I'm showing her the pictures, and there was this one picture that literally felt like it reached out and grabbed me by the throat. And I
Mm.
very clearly in my head heard, "We're your guides." I didn't know what that meant. I freaked out. But I couldn't stop looking at that picture. And so my mom took the picture, snuck it out when I wasn't aware, and she had it matted and framed in a huge frame
Oh
that I had
my.
up on my wall. And so that every day, every morning when I get up, my guides are the first thing I see.
Do you
And
think
it's
that
just,
you lived there before or
I don't know.
so
Because I mean,
could
it's Native American now. Supposedly, we're part Cherokee, so that could be what the connection is, um, or just the fact that I've always felt like I had a connection with Native Americans. There was
mm,
just always something there for me that clicked.
me too.
So
Me too. So
I think that was because I was probably Native in a past life, and may still
exactly.
be some today. I keep saying I'm gonna do that DNA 1, 2, 3 thing, but I never get around to it.
So Cody said he also lived in a haunted house for a bit too, and he saw his roommate momentarily possessed. So
Wow.
these things happen to a lot of us, and a lot of
Yeah.
times it's like a once and done, or like odd things happen here and there, and it's not really like consistent. But it's really important for all of us to share what our experiences are to normalize it and to talk about it and to not
Right.
feel alone about what we're feeling,
Exactly. I
hearing.
mean,
Mhm.
when I was a kid, if I had had, an aunt or, or if my mom or if somebody had talked about it, well, your aunt so and so does this and your grandmother does it. My grandmother, and this was back in the day when there was no caller ID or anything like that. And, she people doing whatever, and she'd stop mid stride and say, "Go get the phone. Aunt Sue's calling." I'd be like, "The phone's not ringing," and 5 minutes later, the phone would ring. That's who would be on the phone. I mean, she would know, and so that was wild, um, and then just over the years, it kept getting stronger and stronger and harder to hide in the closet. And so I just kind of started, okay, well, I guess I just know things sometimes, and just left it at that. And then uh, my mom passed in June, just before the pandemic hit. And so
Mm-hmm.
between her passing, the pandemic hit, and I was not in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually. I mean, I was
Yeah.
really low. And I went on YouTube trying to find something that made me laugh. And I came across a reader who was doing political tarot. And I was like, I didn't even know that existed, especially progressive political tarot. Who knew? And I started watching her, which led to the next one, which led to the next one. And before you know it, I mean, that's all I was watching while I was home for the period of time, was all these different channels going, oh my God, I can do that.
Shari,
Well, I can do
they
that.
do say that sometimes when we have a personal tragedy or a personal life
Yeah,
altering event is when sometimes our gifts or our abilities reemerge and
yeah,
open up. One, for a coping mechanism, and two, just because it's time, like the dormancy is over and it's time to
yeah.
start utilizing that.
Yes.
So
Oh, I feel strongly that was the case with me. It was like everything just kind of boom hit, and uh, I started. Like I said, I started. Lisa and Sharon's "Nasty Women" was the first chat that I ever actually spoke up in, and got inundated by people saying, "Well, we've been waiting for you to say something." I was like, "Well, how did you even know I was here?" And
wow.
and within a couple of months of that, I started having people, even other readers, saying, "You're psychic, right? You really need to have a channel." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, you are." And so it just took a while to convince me, for
and
me
you
to
s-
convince me.
and you started with tarot or with oracle?
With tarot, technically, I started with a hurricane. Um, I mean, I'd had the YouTube channel for years. I just didn't know you could do anything with it. And then I finally decided, okay, I'm going to do something with this. So I came up with a name, Voices from the Swamp. I figured I'm 3 miles from the swamp. That kind of makes sense. And we had a hurricane coming. And I decided, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, let's do this. And I figured I'll just like go outside every day and for a minute, minute and a half, film what the weather's doing as this hurricane approaches,
Oh.
and let people see what we do to prepare. And it was Sheila Angel Feather. Um, I was in her chat one night and she saw me in chat and she said, "Oh, is the hurricane still headed your way?" And I
Mm.
answered, I said, "Yeah, I'm going to do a vlog and video it every day." And Scott Allen was a guest on our show that night. He was like, "Oh, you have a channel?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay, everybody go to Shari's channel right now and subscribe." I had 2 subscribers when I went into chat that night. I had 40 something subscribers by the time the show was over. And so then it was like, okay, I guess I got to do something now. All these people subscribe to my channel. And,
That's a motivator. That's a motivator.
and yeah, so I just, the first
Scott
6 months,
Allen
I
is
didn't do
amazing.
anything from my channel. I would go on as a guest on other people's channels until I finally said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I need to really do this, bite the bullet and step out and do a show. And the first thing I did was I screwed up trying to set up my first show, and I locked myself out of YouTube for 24 hours.
Oh no.
This was like 3 hours before the show. I was like, oh my God. And Katie Moonchild was, I said something to her about it. She's like, well, we'll just do it from my channel and tell everybody it's you. And so that was my first official show, was through her channel.
Oh,
And we did
that's
it. And then once I kind of got in there and started doing it, it just felt right. It's hard to explain. It felt like,
You've been doing
oh,
it all your life.
this
Yeah.
is what I'm supposed to do, and so I just took it from there, and life
Well,
has been
thank
singing
goodness.
through
Thank
going.
goodness. So
So
Sherry's going to share some of her abilities with us and join me with some readings for everybody for the second half of the show. And thank you very much for all being participating in the chat and being so sweet and giving us a little bit of time to get to know Sherry a
absolutely,
little bit. And the second half, we're going to give it right back out to you, right?
there you
Um,
go.
any messages from your loved ones, please include the name and relation. If you'd like a message from your pet, just the name and the type of pet. Also, please use the caps and emojis. You can also ask for a message from your spirit guides or just a general reading where we pick up some information just about your
Right.
current energy.
And
Um,
most of my readings, like I said, most of what I get by using the cards. So you'll see me reaching over here, grabbing one deck or another. And sometimes that flap opens and it just comes right out. So we'll see. I just tell people we'll see what happens. I don't have control of it yet. So, um,
I think you do a beautiful job, and I am honored that you are coming here and joining me. And
oh, I'm,
sometimes we get the psychic bounce there, Sherry. So keep an open mind.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
Um,
yeah, a lot.
Susan was on my channel once, Susan Lynn, and I was, I was like, I think I used the cards twice the whole time because every time I'd pick up the deck, she'd say, "Put it down. You don't need it."
Oh,
I'd be like, "Well, Susan, I got to do it." No, you don't need it. Just tell me what you think, and it would just pop right out. So
that
there
is
you
true.
go.
So
Yeah,
whatever you feel comfortable with, whatever comes in first, you don't have to feel obligated. I do love the cards. I too started with tarot. It's just it was um, a stepping stone for me, I think.
yeah.
But I do still
I
use the
started
tarot.
with the tarot, and then I
Mhm.
moved on to when I first saw oracle cards. It just ding, 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 ding. All the bells went off. I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's mostly what I use is oracles, but I do have some tarots that I like to use. And
So I think that we do have plenty of questions. Thank you, each and everyone who
wow,
put their
yeah,
questions up. We have plenty. We have a lot here, and this is only halfway through. We're only going to do just whatever we have so far at this moment. I don't know if
what we can.
anybody can put. You're welcome. So Teresa says, missing the sticker to my license plate renewal. It was sitting on the dash of my truck and went missing weeks ago. Can you help? Others have suggestions but still can't find it.
The first thing I heard was the vent that's on top of the dashboard. Where the defroster blows up. Check down in that vent. I mean, you may have already checked there, but that's just the first thing I heard was check the vent.
Interesting.
Um, you might have to take the whole dashboard off, but I'm not either.
I get the feeling that the dashboard wasn't the last place. You may have put it there and maybe forgotten that you picked it up again. And she said, yes, I
Um,
checked there. I'm not sure.
okay.
And I think I recall, I think you were, you asked this question, and I believe there was something about the mail. So let me see if I can check and see if, um, so it's not between the seats. Is it in the truck at all?
You see, I'm getting it's in the house,
Mm-hmm.
according to the pendulum. Because I asked, is it in the house? It went definite yes. It's like big time. Um, just to clarify for myself, is it in the truck? Nope, it's not the truck. Look in the house.
I don't know if you have like a recycling, but I know you take recycling out all the time, but um, let me just ask. Can you order a new one? I think you can. Um, will Teresa find the stickers? Will Teresa eventually find the
Like
stickers?
stickers.
I get a
I
yes, but I have a feeling
yes.
it's after you order the one. Like as soon as they come in, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, look!
I get
I
a
don't know.
yes.
Did
You'll
it
find
fall?
it after you get a new one.
Did it fall down? Be like where you have your papers and you set them down. Is there something behind wherever you set down your mail, your papers? You know, I don't know if you put them on the front. Like I'm thinking, if you walk in your front door, you have a stairs that go straight up, and then on the left is like a table, or there's another place in the kitchen where you put your mail as well. I'm telling you, it's a full time job trying to keep up with all of our mail, isn't it? All
God,
of these
yes.
registrations, all of these all these things from all the, you know,
Tell me, I
banks
just
and
bought a car on Friday.
oh, you did?
Yeah, we found a little car because my son was in a wreck 2 weeks ago and totaled my car. And thank God walked away with nothing but a sprained ankle. We're all scratching our heads over that one. Um, and they offered me a lot more money for it than I thought they would because it was a very old, very beat up car that I had. So I was surprised, and I picked up a little car for $400,
Oh my.
and it's going to cost me about 1,000 to get it up and running. So I figured, you can't beat that.
Good luck to you.
And
Good for you. Yeah.
so,
Sometimes the older cars, they really have a lot of stamina. So good for
yeah,
you.
it's a 2002 Mitsubishi Galant. So four-door
Mitsubishi is
sedan.
good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing fancy. Just I can get a new one, but don't want to pay. Yeah, you got to repay the thing. That's
Mm-hmm.
true. They're
And
not cheap.
so Teresa says, great, I moved it and don't know where to. My memory is going fast. I don't think it's a memory thing. I think you put it up there, and then when you were picking other things up, it just got mixed in. I don't think you intended to pick it up or that you intended to bring it in. And she says, I can get a new one, but don't want to pay, right? I know it's
Yeah,
another
I was gonna
couple.
say she might have pulled a Sherry and said, "Oh, I'm gonna go put this up so I don't lose it," and then you don't remember where you put it up at. I do
So
that all the time.
she said she's going to check in the mail pile and see because she's pretty
Yeah,
messy. It's not messy. It's a full-time job. You have to have a full-on filing system at your house in order to keep these things straight when they come in the door. I know
yeah,
I do. I have a box system, and my husband set me up with a very organized system. You know how like if you get a either a bill or let's say the electric bill, and you get it in the mail and you get it in an envelope. Well, that envelope he writes the year on, and then every time, every two February, March, and April, every time he gets the bill, he writes whether or not he pays it, and then he puts it in that first month envelope. So he has one envelope per year for all of the for all of the. And I thought, you're genius. I love that. It's so much more
yeah.
organized. So you have like your own little file system for everything that comes in monthly, and it's not like envelopes packed up on
And
like the envelopes. Hmm.
I have a book budget 2023. I budget out every penny I've got, and as I pay bills, I check them off. So that I know, okay, I paid that one. Okay, I paid that one because otherwise I forget halfway through the month.
It is. It's a whole nother full-time job that we have to do, Teresa. So please don't feel badly at all. It was accidental, and I'm sure that you are going to find it. I do feel it's with envelopes and sort of like, you know how the envelope, the flap flaps forward instead of flapping back, and you can't see what it is. Just something
I
about the
still keep
envelope.
hearing vent. Check the vent. They're like floor vents near where you put your mail. Like for the heater, the AC, some people have vents in the floor as opposed to up on the wall. Um,
Oh. Andrea says she bought a car and her boyfriend crashed it in 5 days. You know
oh
what,
my
Andrea?
God.
It wasn't meant to be yours, and it and it was to save your boyfriend's life. I think you know. So you never know. Can never understand or make
Yeah.
sense of these things. and she's saying no floor vents,
Oh, okay.
but
I just
keep
keep hearing vent, check the vent. So I don't know. There
yeah.
must be.
Yeah. And please, everybody, do go over and subscribe to Sherry's YouTube channel, Voices from the Swamp. And you
Thank
just put
you. After you
SHA.
subscribe to Gene,
And she has amazing collaborations. You would not believe who comes on. And you had Mel Dore on your channel. I was like, oh my gosh. Or you guys
right?
did a, oh
He's
my
been on.
gosh.
The first time he did it, we were both sick as a dog trying to do it, and it just wasn't very good. And about 2 weeks went by, and he was like, "I'm so sorry. I was so sick." I said, "I was too." He said, "Let's reschedule and do it again." I'm like, "Okay, you got it." And then I got him and Linda to come on together one time.
That's
So
beautiful. That's
yeah,
beautiful. So you guys got
that's
to
when
check
you
it
just
out.
sit back and let them run the show. It's like you lose all control at that point.
So you never know what you're going to get, and she has amazing guests on and a lot of collaborations.
The
And what is the Sisters of the Voices or the Sisters of the?
Sisters of the Mystical Tarot.
Okay, yeah,
That's I was invited to join the group, and I'm really loving it. It's Marina from Heart Centered Tarot, Val from Dragonfly Crystals, Sharon from Strawberry Rhubarb, um, Allie from Heart and Soul Connected, and Allison from Aries Girl Tarot.
wow,
And so
what a
it's the six of us, and every week we all take turns as to who hosts, and whoever the host is, it's the one that comes up with a topic for that week, and so this week is my week's, and so we'll be that's every Wednesday at 7 Eastern, what 4 Pacific. So um, it's a lot of fun. We run right at an hour, and
yeah.
uh,
That is fun. It is a lot of fun, and it's really beautiful having different collaborations and different
and I just get to meet
personalities.
some of the nicest people on it. I mean, Sharon, I've known for a while, um, but
She's
like
funny.
that, yeah, Sharon cracks me up. But Val and Marina, is like I watched them. I had actually done a collaboration with each of them at least once, but I didn't really know them yet until Val asked me if I wanted to join the sisters, and I was like, yeah, why not? So um, that's
That's
kind
so
of cool.
sweet.
And I've gotten to know Allison. I just knew Allison by watching her. I had never really collabed with her or anything. So she was a totally brand new person
Well,
to
it's
get to
these big
know.
giant
So
birthdays that you have on your channel. And that's the other thing, everybody. Please go over and subscribe if you want to be part of these birthday celebrations. Sherry throws the best parties, I'll tell you. And so welcoming. I just love, I'm like, I'm coming over there again. I really felt welcome and appreciated. And it was really sweet.
yeah,
I enjoyed myself.
the
Yeah.
last one was what Amy from Warrior Princess. She asked me if I would help her because she's having to run everything through her phone. And so it's kind of hard to do something like that when you're kind of stuck being on your phone.
Hmm.
And I said, yeah, yeah. I said, I'll email everybody I know. We'll just whoever shows up shows up. And then I have paid StreamYard, and she doesn't, so I can get more people on screen at one time than she could. So
It's so sweet of you,
yeah,
Sherry.
it's a I like having a party. So
It's
I'm a
very, very
party girl.
kind of you. Your kindness is endless. It certainly is. So we have Viviani is next, and after Viviani, I have Cody, and then I have Fleck, and then I have Andrea. So
Oh,
just so
Fleck here. Hey,
everybody,
Fleck.
yeah, just so everybody knows what the lineup is. And if y'all, oh, Terry holding your space is here. Hi, Terry. Nice
Oh,
to
hey,
see
Terry.
you.
That's another one I want to try to get on as a for a collab.
Right? I know. She's wonderful too. It's
And
such a
she's so
beautiful.
busy. It's like, oh my God, I don't even know if she has time to read my email.
And Miss Moonlight Musing is
Hi,
on.
Miss
Somebody must have
Moonlight.
just went off. But just so everybody knows that who's coming up is Cody Fleck and Andrea. So if you guys just want to say hey or let me know that you're still here so that we know. So Viviani says messages from spirit about the changes coming my way, please.
Okay.
Jill says it's the first time seeing Sherry,
I
and
see
that
that.
and you'll have to go over and subscribe. And she's just
Nice to meet you,
wonderful.
Jill.
And we think that everybody knows everybody, but you know what? There's one or two. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I see you, Andrea. Thank you. Vivian.
Let's see what we get here.
So they're telling me they're kind of showing me you doing a little bit more meditation and receiving some guidance through your meditations. Like your meditations are going to maybe level up, or they're going to expand, or you're going to be getting a little bit more out of your meditations, out of your inner work. I see you doing a lot of inner work, self work, meditation work, and connecting to spirit, maybe having an altar. And what I mean by that is like a candle or some trinkets that are, or maybe a deck of cards or whatever your favorite things are around you. But I just see you really expanding with your own meditation and or just time to connect to spirit. How about you, Shari?
Okay, well, first thing I pulled from the Healing Waters Oracle, it says the Well Maidens, and which is a really cool picture. But it talks about kindness, respect, reverence, compassion. I think that's part of what Spirit is telling you to develop, is to continue to develop. You've already got those characteristics. Now it's time to expand them and grow them and put them out there. Because then I pull from Moonology, full moon in Aquarius, and
Oh,
it says, show the world the real you. So to me, I mean, these go perfectly together, because this one's telling you to expand your gifts, and this one's telling you, show the world the real you with your
and
gifts.
aren't we moving into the age of Aquarius? I think this is like Viviani's beginning. And that
Yeah.
that that moon card, that second card, was really powerful for me.
Yeah, full moon in Aquarius. And Aquarius is actually uh my moon, because I'm a Gemini sun and Aquarius moon and an Aries rising. And so yeah, that's kind of
So Viviani says that she started meditating every night, and
oh
she's
cool.
also doing inner work, shadow work, and lots of healing. That's it,
Yeah,
you're making those connections for sure.
yeah,
And she said, very powerful full moon card. Yeah, she
yeah,
felt it too.
absolutely.
Thank
And
you,
just keep,
Sherry.
just keep it as you learn and grow, share it is basically what I'm hearing, is as you learn and grow, share it with other people around you.
And that's
Yeah,
another way of uh, teaching ourselves or reminding ourselves,
yeah.
when we learn something and we share it with others, it helps us to learn it again. Um, so Cody is here and he says, I would love a message from my guides. Let's see what they have to say.
You're welcome, Viviani.
So Cody, you're also guided. You have a guide who is counting on you to relay and to it's almost like you're doing angelic work here on earth, and there you have like a director or a council, or there's like some big energy on the other side that is not using you but is facilitating healing through you, and sort of guiding you. But there is a larger, more, I don't want to say powerful energy, but like just a bigger, high vibrational energy that you're connected to, that is filtering information and thoughts and ideas and processes through you. I just feel, yeah, that's what I'm getting. How about you, Sherry?
First thing I pulled from the Healing Spirits Oracle, and it says, this is the perfect time. And then I pulled one from the Healing Waters, and it's the ripple effect, part of something bigger. Details are taken care of.
He's
So
part of something bigger. That's exactly what I said.
yeah, and now is your perfect time. They're telling you go, 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 and this is yeah, wow. That I got as you were talking and I pulled these, I started getting shivers. It was like, okay,
That's the psychic bounce, Sherry,
that's it.
isn't
I
it?
mean, I love it when it happens at oh, thank you, Jill. Um,
So Cody
Part of me
says,
is like it kind of it just amazes me when that happens. But then now that I like weekly read with others on a regular basis, it just amazes me how we're all in different parts of the world or the country, and we're all using different kinds of decks, and we all pull similar messages that just kind of line up and back each other up. That really floors me when that happens. It's
that's
like,
how magical our environment is. This is
yeah,
how, I mean, this is how much all of us are guided. We think that we make up our minds what color top to put on or what color to paint our nails. It's actually, we're being guided, we're being whispered to, we're being
yeah,
led. The inspiration isn't just your own idea, it's your guides leading you. So,
yeah.
and
I mean,
it's
some people might think this is silly, and it is silly,
it's
but to me,
creative.
it's fun. It's something fun. And if
It
nothing
is
else,
lots.
they'll remember the lady with the flag fingernail.
You
Whatever
gotta
works.
You gotta love it. Gotta love it. So Cody says, does the name Abram mean anything coming up? Another psychic brought him up as, oh, a higher aspect of yourself. It could be. It could be
Yeah.
him, Cody. But
I mean, it's a
some
biblical name,
I just
so
felt the energy. I don't really get names, and some psychics are really good with like first
yeah, I don't
letters,
get
or
names.
I just get the energy, and they just don't want to, but it could be the same. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? So thank you, Cody, very much. And we have Fleck. After Fleck, I have Andrea and Warrior Girl and Arlene. So y'all just say hi between now and then, and we'll continue on. So Flex says, my sister lived in a house that she believed had a ghost. She told me he sat on the end of the bed. She passed 12 years ago, and sometimes I think she sits on my bed. Am I
Yeah.
crazy or what? You
No,
are
you're not
not.
crazy. No, I had a cat for 16 years, and he's been dead now for a good 6 or 7 years, and he still comes and gets a bed with me every night. I literally feel the weight on the bed of him jumping up because he was a big 20-pounder cat. He was a big cat. I literally feel him jump in bed with me every night and go lay on my feet because that's where he always wanted to lay down. Was on my feet. And
So there's definitely somebody sitting on your bed, Fleck, and it could be. I'm also picking up maybe there's a guardian angel that was watching over her, and it may be your guardian angel as well, or it may be your sister. So let me see if I can make the figuring out. Is Fleck's sister sitting on her bed at night? Yes. Is there a guardian angel that sits on Fleck's bed at night? No. Was there a guardian angel sitting on Fleck's sister's bed? Yes. So the guardian angel aspect I think I'm picking up was what your sister may have been experiencing, perhaps like a watcher or a guardian of some sort, and then but your sister is the one who's sitting on your bed. That's what I got with my pendulum.
yeah, I pulled Queen of Water, and I don't know if you can see that. That's kind of cool picture.
She's
But it
beautiful.
says tender-hearted, empathic, patient, loving. It says relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition, care for yourself and for others. So I feel like that's telling you trust what you think it's her. That's who's there. You
Hmm.
know.
And
But
you
if
can
it's
you can ask your sister to validate that for you. You can say, whatever your sister's name, and say, sister, if you're the one sitting on my bed at night, please leave me a feather in the bathroom, or please leave me a dime in the kitchen. Please, Fleck, flash the lights, or whatever it is that you want to validate. Can you validate by ringing a bell? And you might hear a bell somewhere and you won't know where it's coming from. These are things that are a little bit easier for them to manipulate. And you can ask for it and then just remind her, say, if you would validate this and leave me a dime, would you validate this and send me a feather? And then you may forget about it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then when you see that come, you'll go right back to what you said, and you'll be like, that's it. It was her. I know it was her. But it takes time for them to be able to manifest this, and they like to wait until we're not thinking about it, until it
Yeah.
has left our consciousness, and we let it go, and then they can come in. And this is why it's really important when we manifest, or when we pray and ask for things, that it's important that we ask for the highest good, the highest outcome, for buying a car or whatever, and say, whatever the safest vehicle for me to buy it in the quickest way possible, thank you. And then let it go about your business, forget all about it. And it enables them to create, because if we're thinking about the car and we have an idea, they can't manipulate the energy, because we're so stuck on one outcome. They
But
may
you're
have.
very specific how you manifest. I've spent the last year and a half trying to manifest another car because the one I had was in its dying days. But I didn't think to add, but not by anybody getting hurt. And then my son gets in an accident. I mean, it took a year and a half, but I got what I asked for. It wasn't exactly the way I had it in mind, but
Mhm.
so be specific when you're manifesting.
For the
And like
highest good
Lynn
of.
said, then let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, the highest good of everyone involved. This or something better. Um, Mark, the Spirit Whisperer. It's his YouTube channel is Spirit Whisperer, and his name is Mark, and he does an amazing
He's awesome.
series for. He does an
He did a
amazing
reading
series
for
for
me that just
manifestation. Yeah,
he did, yeah, he did a reading on me that just blew my mind. It was just like, oh my gosh. And
you're welcome, Fleck. You're welcome. She said, first time catching your live, blessings. Oh, thank you, Fatima.
oh, hi Fatima, thank you.
Thank you for your question, Fleck. And Andrea is next. And then after Andrea is Warrior Girl, Arlene, and Aaron. So just say hi, ladies, and we'll continue on. She said, any channeled messages from my father, Hector. He passed on December 9th, 2019. December 9th, Hector, Andrea. Just to make sure. Yeah, she's here. Hector, father. Oh, that's why you have his name. Okay, you have his name in there. So I feel somebody who's very friendly, very kind, very loving. I feel somebody who is takes care of a lot of things. Always says, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Yeah, I can do that." He was very much a doer, always on the go, always going to pick somebody up, always driving somebody to work, always getting groceries or whatever, like errands and helpfulness and assistance. He was very helpful and very had a lot of us wanted to assist people and went out of his way to help others. And it's almost like round the clock he did this. I don't know if he took care of neighbors or friends or um, and he's telling me now that he's worked 2 jobs. This is why I feel him doing things round the clock. And he almost feels like no matter if it was even a buddy at work, like if they needed a ride home or if they needed to go and pick somebody up, like he would be the one to volunteer and say, I can do it, I have the time. He was very generous of his spirit and
Yeah.
of his service. And he just sounds like a really, really nice guy. If that makes sense, Andrea, let me see. And let me just get a message from. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I pulled bounteous, which generously given relationships coming together. But I wanted to look it up real quick
Sure.
just to see if it was saying in here what they meant was what I was feeling. And then as you were talking about uh, him being so generous and always doing for, he was the taxi for the family. Yeah. Um, it says that this is encouragement for you to appreciate the gifts, the bounty, the opportunities, and the privileges that are in your life. Don't hoard what you don't need. Share the plenty that surrounds you and watch as it swells and grows. I feel like this is him completely. Was his his whole being was to give to others. It didn't, he had what he needed, and then the rest of it, let's do for somebody else. And that's a rare soul. You don't get a lot of people that are willing to do that anymore. Um, to just openly give to others. That's pretty special.
Yeah, he does show me this, that, and he was like really happy to do it. Like he would be sleeping and somebody would need, he's showing me something around the clock. Like either he slept in late or got up or went to bed late or got up
Yeah,
early. There's something about round the clock that he's telling me it didn't matter. Like he would just throw on a shirt and shoes and run out there and get in the car. He's like, it's no big deal. But he just wants to let you know that he loves you and he's watching over you, and that he is safe, and that he is with family, and he is where the unconditional love is. He's where the angels are, and he says that he's with his family. Um, but he's telling me that the love that is shown there is, oh, he's also showing me some pets too. I don't know if you had a little dog, a little white dog, not a little, but maybe a medium white dog. There's somebody, he's showing me that he has his best friends are there too, and he's showing me his pets. Very, very loving individual, very caring and compassionate. Um, but he wants you to know that he's safe. He wants you to know that he is, he's well. He's safe and at peace, and he is watching over you. So, wow, what a really, really nice guy. Oh gosh, and she says he was an old soul.
oh yeah, very much so.
Well, thank you for the feedback, Andrea. That was really very nice. Okay, so let's see. We have Warrior Girl, Arlene, and Aaron. We're getting towards the end here. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. So somebody made a comment. Um, okay. Warrior Girl, Arlene, and Aaron. Um, Fatima says they're celebrating Canada Day, and she's telling us Happy 4th of July. A- Andrea says, yes, had a white puppy that passed away 2 weeks ago. It was my
Oh wow,
granddaughter's puppy. This is what
puppies
he's
with
saying.
them. Puppies with them.
This is what I was telling you, Sherry. Like I just say what I see, and it's shocking sometimes.
Oh, I know. Sometimes I get shivers, especially when I'm reading with somebody else. It's like as you're talking, I'm pulling a card, going, "Okay, whoa, wait a minute." That's that's what Jean's saying right now, and that always just, I mean, goosebumps up and down my arms.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. Well, your dad's taking care of the puppy, so tell your daughters. Tell your daughters. How sweet. How sweet of him to add that in at the last minute. Like it was like, oh yeah. Okay, so Warrior Girl says, I'd love a message for the month of July.
Okay,
Very nice.
well, I'll go because I went ahead and pulled
Yes, please.
from the moonology. I got meditate and contemplate the new moon in Pisces. So that's the first thing, is they're telling you to either increase the amount that you're meditating and going through things, or to start if you haven't really started that yet. but that's going to be an important aspect. And then from the healing waters, I got carry the torch for others to see and wake up the world. And that's part of what we're all being called to do is to carry
Mhm.
the torch and wake up the world.
That's a really neat card too. Look at that. She
Yeah, I
does
love
carry the
that.
torch
I
for
love
the
you to
entire
see it.
universe. That's oh my gosh, that's really neat.
Isn't that a cool picture? I was just like, that's this is a brand new Oracle deck. It just came out in June. Um, so it's I'm having a blast using that one in the water healing waters when they both just came out in June.
She said Scott pulled that card for me last night from Moonology.
Ah,
Wow.
well, if that's not something telling you, pay attention. I'm
Mhm.
talking to you.
And Andrea, Warrior Girl, what I was getting for you was for grounding. And in suggestions, I was asking them for suggestions, not only grounding outside, but because it's so warm outside, you can also ground by using your crystals. And also, they show me you in a salt bath with like herbs and what are the essential oils and herbs, like add it to your bath and this will help you to ground as well. Also, detox a little bit in that salt bath, but the grounding is detoxing as well. But they're just showing me grounding and like that purifying kind of salt bath with all of the herbs. Like I know that sometimes there's like little packets of bath things that when you pour it out, it has like the little petals and stuff in it. It's really neat. It's a mess. It's a pain to clean up, but it really feels good. Wow. Well, thank you,
Makes
warrior
you feel
girl.
very pampered while you're doing it.
But you're grounding, so you say, "Hey, I'm grounding." Arlene says, "Could you tell me who my spirit guides are?" You know, Arlene, I can maybe pick up some energy around that, but I'm not very good at names, and it may take a little bit longer. Sometimes if I do a
Yeah,
private reading and we have the luxury of an hour to just tune in, we may be able to
yeah. I don't
come up.
pick up names.
They're very
It's
personal
the
too.
energy. Yeah,
hmm And but I can definitely tune into them and ask them about their energy. They say that they know you and that you've had past lives together. Your spirit guides are, they're almost like a guru. They're almost showing me like an Indian or like from the continent of India, kind of like an Indian guru or like a Buddha kind of a guru or something. Somebody who is more spiritual and more of like a master, like a master guru of some sort. They keep telling me guru, and they keep showing me the continent of India or Asia. Like there's somebody that has um, this type of they're showing me like a monk perhaps. I don't know, I'm getting a lot of different energy coming through, and they may have had many different lifetimes, so this is what I feel around you. So that is all kind of in a similar area of the world, so somewhere in the Buddhist, in the monks, in the continent of India, somewhere in there is where I feel as though their energy and their personality is coming through. So hopefully that's helpful for you. What'd you get? Please let me hold on. Now, I want to make sure I'm sitting down because I want to know what you're getting.
the first thing I pulled was teacher. Now
That that's what
I
guru
can't
means.
pronounce the name.
Ma-
I've been sitting here looking at it, going, my mouth just won't form those letters put together that way.
that's who it
Um,
is. That's who it is.
but I'm seeing
Mahashara.
teacher. This looks like it's one of your guides. It's not your only one. It's one of them. Um, and part of their job is to teach you the next steps, what you need to know, how you need to go about it. And then I pulled the Ace of Fire, and it says an exciting new opportunity career advancement, changing your life now. So you've got the teacher right there telling you, wake up, pay attention, it's time to learn. And this one's telling you, okay, new opportunities here, let's go, let's do it. So they're both very forward and gung ho, and let's go get them.
So
Don't
is the teacher
don't
an
waste any
ascended
time.
master from Kyle Gray? Is that what's the teacher come from?
The it's the Ascended Masters Oracle
Oh,
card,
Doreen Virtue. Okay.
and Doreen Virtue is the one.
You may be
I
able to
came
Google
across it
that.
and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. So,
Yeah, you may be able to Google that, Arlene, and find out a little bit more about that individual because that
oh,
had
I'm sure, yeah.
very similar energies to what I was picking up
Um,
on.
you see, I will put the name
Oh, good. Yogananda Maharishi Mahesh. Oh my
something. Yeah,
gosh. Look at that. Came up 3 times.
wow, that's the. So yeah, look that person up and see. It's
Are,
this little deck I picked up secondhand, so I don't have a guidebook or anything with it to tell me who these people are. So,
And honestly, Arlene, I had no idea. I was like, Can you tell me a little bit about your personality?" And for us to get something, both of us get something so similar. And Erin could feel it. She's like, wow. She's like,
yeah,
wow. So that was really unexpected and really good for you, Arlene. And I feel as though this is something like a direction for you as well to kind of learn a little bit more about perhaps ascended masters or gurus in that era. Um, wow, well, nice job, Sherry. Woo! I kind of knew. They told me brace myself because you had the answer.
sometimes it happens that way, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know. My cards are like, you don't have the right deck out.
Show the name again, please. Is she
Uh,
put it in the chat
I
there?
put it in the chat for you, and that way you can be able to just copy and paste and put it in your Google machine and see what comes up. And
She says thank you. You're very welcome, Arlene.
you're welcome, Arlene.
Okay, so we have Aaron, and after Aaron, let me see. Let me give you the lineup. We have Patricia Tyree. Just let us know you're still here. Ellen R. and
Marina,
it's Marina. Oh, look at you. How do you know? Are you
because she's
looking at
one of
the?
the sisters.
Oh,
She's one of my sisters,
uh, I
and is
know,
an
but
absolute sweetheart. Y'all need to read together. Y'all would really mesh well.
oh, very nice. She said, "Good, I got it." You're welcome. You're welcome, Marlene. I'm so happy for you. So, Erin, hi, Erin. She says, "Do my guides see changes coming my way? How do I make the most positive outcome?" Well, the one constant in the life of a human is change. Change is the one constant. So change is constant and evolving. And the way that we can uh, help to um, keep it in a direction that's favorable to us is for us to change our vibration to match that outcome that we want. If you want a happy, fortunate, and surprising and delightful and enchanting outcome, raise your vibration. Be happy, be delightful, be enchanting, and feel this that it's here now. And we need to change our vibration. If we are doubtful and have negative self talk, which took me a long time to change, it's really hard to get that positive outcome. So
Yeah.
whenever you have, when you say, "Oh, that was really dumb of me," and it's a habit. We don't think that's powerful, but it is powerful. You say, "Cancel." Please, I want to give that little comment I made about myself to my angels, and I don't mean that at all. I mean, I meant I made a mistake, and that's okay. Instead, like those little things make a big difference. So change your inner
Yeah.
self talk is what they're saying there, Aaron. How about you,
And it's
Sherry?
always so much easier to believe the negative of yourself than it is to believe the positive of yourself. That's why, as parents with children, small children, it's so important that we monitor how we correct them. You know, you don't want to ever tell a child, "Oh, well, you're just stupid." I mean, because yeah, then they're going to grow up believing that. You could say what you did was a stupid thing to do, but that doesn't make you stupid. It just means you weren't thinking right then. So, but when I pulled you, I had chills as you were talking, and I'm pulling these two cards from the Shaman's Dream Oracle. The first one I pulled was Cosmic Womb,
Hmm.
Divine Feminine. So that right there is letting you know that's part of your energy, is that divine feminine. We all have that. And then I pulled In the Hand. The universe is your partner. So right there, it's just showing you that they got your back. So regardless of, I feel like because this says womb, I feel like you've got something new heading your way. Um, some kind of new venture, or just something new that's coming your way, and just embrace it and realize you're going to go through a birthing process with it. So it may be a little uncomfortable at first until you get used to it. And then once you kind of get used to it, you're going to be like, this is the most fabulous thing that's ever happened to me. So just kind of roll with that.
She's saying
And
feeling empowered for positive change. And she's saying,
absolutely,
so true, Sherry, so true. I feel as though that birthing that you saw, that womb, was creativity, and be creative, be playful, be childlike, and just um, lighten your heart, lighten your heart. So
yeah.
thank you very much for your question, Erin. That was so very nice. So I have Patricia Tyree. Has anybody seen Patricia or Ellen? Ellen R is next, and then Marina. And I understand. Okay, Ellen
I
is
see
here.
Ellen is here.
All right,
Um,
let's do Ellen. I think Patricia. I know we've been on for quite a while, and it's hard to hang out that long. So let's pick up Ellen, and if Patricia comes in before the end, we'll pick her
we'll
up.
get it. Yeah.
What will July be like for me? Ellen R. I think it's going to fly by before you know it. I feel as though time is going to speed up for you. I feel as though it's going to be August 2nd. You're going to be like, where did July go? There's something that you may be waiting for or looking forward to, or you are looking for the time to pass. And you may be doing mm, a lot of inner work, but something
Yeah.
is going to seem like time flies for you. It may also has to do with the astrological movement in the sky as well, as far as the time speeding up. But take a look at that. That's what I was
Yeah.
getting, Ellen.
Well, I pulled from Ascended Masters positive change. So you've definitely got positive change heading your way. And then I pulled Lost in Space, Needing Direction. So, yeah, I mean, I started getting chills as I was pulling the cards. Like, okay, this is crazy. But I just feel like just keep yourself open to what's coming. Um, because it's positive. It may not even feel positive in the very beginning, but there's some really good stuff headed your way. You just Just be prepared.
Yeah, the way you said lost in space, I felt as though it was like lost in time. I feel as though there's going to be like a time space continuum altered for you there, Ellen, for some reason. And it's in your benefit. It's in your benefit. Um, yeah.
Oh yeah, it
So
feels like just yesterday was Christmas, and now we're in July. I'm like, where did the year go? It's just flown by.
right, right. Thank you, Ellen R. All the best to you. Thank you for
Mm,
your question. So we do have Marina, and I think that Patricia Tyree is not here anymore. But is Helen Gibbs still here? And if you are, we can add that in since Patricia wasn't here. So let's. Ellen says, "Thank you, Shari."
You're welcome.
So Marina says, any messages from my cat Cleo, who crossed the Rainbow Bridge 4 years ago?
I gotta get me an animal deck.
I know, right? I know. Mark the Spirit Whisperer has those cute cat and dog decks. They are the cutest.
I know. I keep saying I need to get me a deck, and I just put off doing it.
I think
There's
Allie
two on
has
my
them too.
Amazon list. I just haven't
Okay.
gotten around to them.
All right, Helen, I see you. Thank you, Helen. Okay, so Marina, her cat Cleo. Messages from cat Cleo. So the first thing I heard from Cleo, Marina, is that she's still working with you. She's 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 given me the word sorceress. So she
Mm,
is still wielding her magical ability from the other side, and that she came in to be part of the energy down here. She helped um, to either balance the energy when she came in when she incarnated and came into your life. It was to help to balance or create the magical energy in your surroundings. There was something about the energy that she was helping to balance, and it was her. I'm not sure if she always hung out with you when you were doing your card readings or your readings. Um, and she's also showing me a lion. She has a lion energy to her. It's a male lion, and this is very unusual for me. But she's showing me that she is. Um, I know it's a she, but she's saying that she's the king of her class, the king of her uh, her teaching or her education or like the class like the teacher's class. She's the king of her class, and she is very wise, and she is still able to assist you from the other side. She's also showing me a young redheaded girl on like a surfboard or a skateboard. I'm not sure if there's some sort of a surfing the waves. I'm not sure if you do any kind of now I know you asked me about your cat, but she's showing me that you may surf the waves like at night if you do astral traveling or if you surf the waves. She's showing me a young girl who is surfing the waves. She's just showing me this energy. She's very she has a lot of potential and a lot of dynamics. She's really wants to talk a lot, and she does say that she assists you. She says she still does. Her energy still does assist you. And I'm not sure if you ever looked at her. And I mean, obviously, we kind of know what they're thinking. But she said sometimes you would be like, was that you? Like you heard maybe a voice or a yes or something. And you would be like looking down, like, did you just say that? Um, she's just showing me that she'd like to have a little fun with you. And she was here, but she still is assisting you from the other side. How interesting, Marina. I love the magical energies. She said, yes, she is. And she said, always beside me. Mm-hmm. And she says, riding the energy. Yes, she comes to me at night. Wow.
her first
Wow.
message is butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. She's just reminding you that her transformation was a beautiful thing. And then I pull the wombat spirit, which is be at home. So
Oh,
while as spectacular as this was, she's so happy she can still be at home because she's with you. And then, as typical of cats, stranger curiosity. And it actually is a shows a little cat on there. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's just too wild. And I pulled one more, magician's sword, confidence in your magic.
That's the sorceress.
Hmm. Right
Wow.
there. And that's from, these two were from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And then the two animal ones are from my Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. And actually, she did both of those. But
Wow. Very nice. So, Marina says, wonderful, Sherry. Well, that last sorceress with that, yeah, that was definitely her, and the one where he had the cat in it. That was it's just so amazing, you guys. It's just it really is amazing that we can pull these cards and the
yeah, I love
synchronicities and
this,
oh
the
yeah.
picture of it. Just very, even the picture itself is just really powerful.
Oh. She said she was with me when I got back into tarot. Wow. There's no coincidence there.
No, not at all. She was your familiar.
She has a big energy too, and she's still helping you. But
Hmm.
yeah, that's amazing. Thank you, Marina, for the feedback. That's really very important. Um, all right. Thank you very much. And last but not least, this will be our last question for today. And please do make sure you go over and subscribe to Sherry H. Voices from the Swamp on her YouTube channel. And all the um, moderators have been putting her link in the chat. And I also have her link below in the description box.
And you
Um,
can find me on Facebook and Instagram and all that. A variation of Swamp Lady on everything.
Oh, I did
Yeah,
see something else come up. I was wondering if that was you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Swamp Lady. And then I don't really do Twitter anymore, um, just because I can't stand Elon Musk.
Right.
Forgive me. But I started up with a group, another similar app called Tyndall,
Oh,
and so far I like it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people on it yet. So
you're brilliant, Sherry. I mean, you're
yes,
such an inspiration. Just uh, the ability not just step forward and to try something new without letting fear or unknown stop you.
and
It's
what's
really
cool is with the Tyndall is they're actually offering people who join the ability to invest in the company before they take it and
wow.
go public with it. I'm thinking I might just do that,
Well, you can pull
whatever
some cards or do your
whatever the
pendulum.
lowest level is, yeah, and then see what
Maybe,
happens. There we go.
maybe when we're done, we'll pull a card on that one,
There
right?
we go. That'll work. Yeah.
All right. So let's see. Helen wants a general message, and I really like doing these. You just never know. I'm just going to tune into Helen's energy and just see what we find, and sort of kind of let her know what energy is around her right now. I love doing these sight unseen, really open ended questions. So
Yeah.
Helen Gibbs. So Helen, I feel as though you are creative. You do create like artwork. I'm seeing something a little bit more on the fabric or thread or yarn or something in that family that you create. It could even be like needlepoint or stitch work. It's something in the fabric, tangible, soft. What do they call that? Soft mediums. I do feel as though that you are a good cook and you keep a beautiful home. You have flowers, you have color, you have like a lace tablecloth. You just have such little finesse to you. You have such delicate surroundings, and really, you like little accent pieces, is what I'm saying, and little things that mean so much to you, that have such good memories, but you're very humble. It's not anything extravagant. It's not anything like solid gold or anything. It's very, very humble and simple. I see a little bit of um, French country sort of kind of a feel around the flowers, the lace tablecloth, and the creative, like soft energies around you. I do see that you have loved and you have lived a beautiful life, and that you are in the reflection point in your life, that you are looking back and looking back with gratitude and a little bit of nostalgia right now. So that's where I'm going to stop. And let's see. And Helen, just let us know if any of that made sense. Um, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'll start with the moonology. I pulled the waxing moon. It says the energy is gaining momentum. So, whatever it is that you're working on, it's starting to gain momentum. It's going to keep going, keep building. Um, and then I pulled deer spirit, and it says bring a gentle touch.
Oh,
And when you look at a deer, and this is obviously a doe, um, you think Bambi's mom: be soft, be gentle, be loving, be kind. And then the last one I pulled was stars in the sky, limitless possibility.
oh,
So that's just letting you know that the possibilities that you have going forward are limitless. I mean, just focus your mind, decide that's where you want your energy to go, and it'll go.
yeah. And this is you're nowhere close to the end. You have a lot more ahead of you there. And Helen says, yeah, that it sounds like her surroundings and her energy a little bit. But it's there's more ahead, and you may feel as though there's like a pause in your life, or a change of dynamic, or maybe like if you're an empty nester now and the kids are, out of college and on their own, and like things may have changed for you, but it's by no means over. There's um, a whole nother chapter yet for you
Yeah,
there. Yeah. Oh, she says, nice message. You're very welcome, Helen.
good. I'm glad.
Very nice. Well, thank you for joining us, and thank you for asking your question. We are done. We've been on for over an hour and a half. This has been one really fast hour and a
Yeah,
half,
I had a
hasn't it?
ball. I know. I looked up a few minutes ago, and I was like, that can't be right.
So Arlene really loved her reading. She says, Sherry, this has been a
Oh,
great
good.
reading.
I'm glad you liked it, Arlene. I'm glad it resonated. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
that's nice, especially for us readers, to have somebody to be able to come back and say, "Yeah, you got it. That's what the situation is." It's such a strong confirmation to just keep going. Hi,
Want
Joan.
want to say hello to Wisdom Seeker Joan. Hi, everybody. Hi, Joan.
I was just
So,
bragging to Jean before the show. Joan's powers just floor me how good she is. We did a one-on-one thing with Danny Shea. He had a shaman's class,
oh,
and we broke up into pairs, and she and I wound up getting paired together. And it was just like, man, she was throwing stuff at me. I was like, whoa.
Joan is really good.
And,
She's a
yeah.
lifelong psychic and medium, and very talented, and has an amazing ability for sure. I love
Oh,
reading with her.
absolutely. Absolutely. I was just floored. I'm just being honest, honey. I'm just being honest.
So, Sherry,
Mm.
where will you be later this week? Do you have your schedule?
Tomorrow is Wednesday, so tomorrow night at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific will be Sisters of the Mystical Tarot, with me and Val and Marina, who we just read for, and Sharon and Allison. And I feel like I'm forgetting somebody and I don't know who it is. Um, and so that's every Wednesday night. And then after that, crash, boom, bang. I had to actually go buy a day planner to keep up. I couldn't keep up anymore. And then, this Saturday I've got an old friend that's going to come on at 3 o'clock Central on my channel. She's a Wiccan.
Oh,
Marla Brooks is her name. She has her own podcast and everything, Stirring the Cauldron. I first met her back in the mid 2000s through Para X Radio. I used to listen. There was several paranormal shows that came on, but it wasn't. It was just people talking about hauntings and whatnot. And she was one of the regulars. Then just it's like I've never met her face to face, but we've chatted for years uh, through
oh,
the chats, and
that sounds
whatnot.
like so much fun. And you have so much diversity there, Sherry. And you're in Louisiana where there's a lot of that,
But we
you
got all
know,
kinds of stuff going on down here.
paranormal, yeah, things going on down
We
there.
got the voodoo, and we
I know, I know. So
and
for me on Friday, I'll be on Kikaru's spiritual journey. Terry Suzuki and Terry Lee will do our psychic triad on Kikaru's channel on Friday the 7th.
they're both
And
really good too.
then on Monday, Joan, Wisdom Seeker Joan, will be hosting Terry Suzuki and myself on her channel, on Wisdom Seeker Joan's channel. And
Cool.
that's, yeah, yeah, I do. I actually have a show, a psychic fair on Saturday that I'll be doing. So I'll be offline, but I will be doing readings at the psychic fair. So it should be
That
fun.
is
Yeah.
awesome. I've had a couple of students ask me if I would do like a party, come in and do readings at a party, and I said, "Well, I've never done that before." I said, "But yeah, we can give it a shot." So we'll see what happens when fall semester rolls around. And so, my son's over here motioning at me. Look here in my purse.
Okay, that's fine.
Um, um, I lost my train of thought,
Yeah.
so it might have been
Yes.
important.
You're
Uh,
doing parties. You may be being,
oh
you know,
yeah, I mean, I think it would be fun. So I guess we'll just see
you
what
know what? This is
see what
harder.
happens.
This is harder. When you go in person, you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, we trained and did and practiced on the hardest way, not seeing anybody, not hearing anybody, and not getting that instant feedback is really so much harder just doing it from the chat and doing it from, somebody's name like,
Yeah,
cat lady or something. We don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, the I've done a few in person readings for a couple of friends, and the energy for that is so different than what we do online because it's instant. I mean, you automatically mid sentence you're already feeling the energy coming back at you. It's that you're either spot on or they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But
Right. Right.
it's,
It's
it's
amazing.
fun. I enjoy doing that. So
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Sherry, for joining me. And
thank you
thank
for
you,
inviting
everybody,
me.
for all of your questions, all of your collaboration, all of your, working with us and comments and things. We really appreciate that. It just made such a beautiful hour. And I just want to wish everybody once again, happy 4th of July. Be safe, be cool. And we'll see you on the next one.
That's it. Next up is to get Gene on my channel. We're
I
getting
look
down in
forward
the
to
swamp.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, lots of fun. All right,
We'll work on
everybody.
that. So
Bye bye.
bye everybody.
Whoops, I'm hitting the wrong leave. Okay.